Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's growth call. My name is Steve Jane. We have these growth calls every week at this time to discuss how the Bisq network has been doing and what we can do to further its growth even more. Hello to everybody in the Hangout, Christoph, and those of you guys watching on YouTube. As always, feel free to post comments in the YouTube live chat, and we'll respond to those as we can, or feel free to join us in the Hangout, which I'll put the link to it over there right now. 1 second. There we go. We like to think of Bisq as the only true decentralized Bitcoin exchange that takes privacy and security very seriously. It's a top priority, as well as resistance to censorship. For more details on how the software and the Bisq DAO achieve this, check out the links in the description below this video. And also remember to like and subscribe to be updated on videos that we release in the future. For today, we're going to cover four main things. It's going to be each item is relatively short, but four main things on the agenda. Market update. I'll talk about how volume has been doing so far in May. Talk about the new release that we had recently. We're going to talk about the DAO. The first voting cycle of the Bisq DAO is ending today, so we're going to address that very quickly, and then quickly discuss the scammer proposals that are out. We have a couple of measures in discussion right now to handle the scamming issues that we've faced over the past few weeks, and we'll discuss that a little bit as well. So as for the market update, it was a blockbuster April. So far, daily volumes haven't quite matched up to them April levels just yet, but I think that's just how it goes, fluctuating in the numbers day to day. I don't know, Christoph, would you like to go into any more detail? Or?
Yeah, regarding the volume, as you mentioned already, it's a little bit low at the moment. Still, if we get a couple of peaks especially in the Monero market, everything looks completely different. So if it would go like that at the moment, we will be between 1 to 2 million in the end. If you look at the top four markets in terms of volume, it's Monero, but not far away from Euro Bitcoin, US dollar Bitcoin, and the fourth strongest market also in terms of volume is already the BSQ Bitcoin market. And if you look on the number of trades, it's a little bit mixed up. It's the Euro Bitcoin market first, then the BSQ market already, US dollar and Monero. So the top four are the same in terms of total volume and number of trades, but just the ranking is a little bit different. So in Euro and BSQ, we see smaller trades. Of course, Monero trades on the altcoin side, they can go up to 2 Bitcoin. So they are in general more higher than on the fiat side, yeah. But yeah, besides that, it looks quite okay. Everything back to normal again.
Yeah, and in terms of initiatives to boost liquidity, we're looking at doing more translations. So we had a call earlier this week to form some more structure around initiatives to translate the web pages and some key documentation for the top languages in new markets. So people who are most likely to use Bisq, so we can further grow in new markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have the client already translated in lots of languages, but the website isn't. So people might not be able to, might not get to the point to download the client at all, although it would be translated. So translating the website and this path to the download should increase install rates in that area as well. So it should help, and it's not so much work.
Yeah. Yep. So the next item is the new release. We had, I guess you can kind of call it a stopgap release for the scamming issues that we had. Essentially, the release limited fiat payment accounts created after March 1st to 0.01 Bitcoin trade size. And anything beyond that, if you want to trade with a new account, you cannot trade with any payment account or payment method that has chargeback risk. So SafeBuy, Interac, Zelle, bank transfers, all of these beyond 0.01 Bitcoin are not allowed right now for accounts that were created after March 1st. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I just want to point out that that's just related to buyers, as Bitcoin buyers.
Right.
So if you create a new account and want to sell Bitcoin again for fiat money, there you don't have this limitation. There you just have the regular limitation, the account age limitation that we have in place as usual. So it's just for the buyer side to protect against scammers.
Yeah, that's crucial. That's an important detail. And the other thing I think that we should mention is that TransferWise, we've been having some issues with TransferWise, so we highly recommend that you don't use that at all. There is a link to, there's a thread on the forum that goes into more detail about this. Let me put that in the chat. There's more details there, but basically I think they started accepting credit cards, whereas before they didn't, and so there's just more increased issues with chargebacks. So we highly recommend that you don't use TransferWise on Bisq for right now. Next up is just a quick item. The first voting cycle for the Bisq DAO is coming to a close later today. Looks like around, so for me around 10 o'clock, around 8 hours from now is approximately when the voting cycle or the proposal phase for this voting cycle will come to a close. So if you want to make any proposals, compensation requests, or other things, please try to get them in quickly so that you can get them in for this voting cycle. After that, the other phases of the blind voting and reveal will start, and during that time, you can't make any proposals. So if you do have a proposal that you want to get in and are not able to get it in this cycle, you'll have to wait until the next cycle, which will probably end sometime in the middle of June. So just FYI there. And next item, last item that I have on the list here for today is the scammer proposals. So we've, over the past couple of weeks, accumulated a handful of concepts to limit these scammer issues that we've been having on Bisq. We've had, I think Manuel made a couple of proposals on delaying payout, Bitcoin payout, and a decentralized reputation mechanism. And then Manfred had, I guess, revitalized the BSQ bonding idea from a little while ago. I proposed something for multi-factor identity verification a couple of days ago. So we've got a nice array of ideas, and there's actually, Manfred made a comment yesterday on one of the proposals. I'm going to post it here, a direct link, that goes through all of the ideas that we have so far. Just to get you up to speed quickly, these are tough problems, and the solutions are also not the most intuitive. It takes a little bit of time to understand exactly what they are and how they might work and what the flaws could be, the benefits are. So highly encourage anybody watching. This is a big problem for fiat, and we need to solve it quickly, but we also need to make sure we do it well, so we can use as much feedback from you guys as possible. So would be great if you guys can take a look, take some time to see what we've come up with so far, voice your ideas, your concerns, and any suggestions you have so that we can tackle this problem as well as possible.
Yeah, because I think it's important not to just get rid of the scammers and also get rid of liquidity as well. If the security measures are just so unuseful for everyone to use, so yeah, so we have to find a good balance. And first, I was kind of frustrated a little bit when we had the DAO launch. Everything was going so well. We had great volume. We don't have experienced any bugs. And yeah, and then we had these scamming issues. But now I think it's really a chance for Bisq to grow if we're able to solve this issue, which is quite difficult. And hard to solve. But if we are able to solve that, I think it could help us to grow substantially on the fiat side as well, because then we have then it's way safer than local bitcoins. Yeah, it's then the best option to do that, to trade fiat against Bitcoin.
Yeah, and just to put this into perspective, this is really not a problem that I don't think anybody solved. I mean, banks, all these legacy financial institutions have millions of dollars of fraud that they deal with on a regular basis. It's a very hard problem to solve, but I think the proposals that we have are actually quite, I think, impressive. If we can, or it can be quite impressive if we combine them in a clever, intelligent way. I think we can do we can get very far and be very effective at solving this problem. So I think it's a unique challenge, but I think we have a unique approach that we can use to solve these issues.
Yeah, and we have it even harder if you compare it to banks, because we have to do it in a decentralized way, and we have to do it without losing privacy at all. So we have the even higher challenge. But yeah, there are great proposals there where we need your feedback, and yeah, I'm quite excited about this, actually.
Yeah, it's exciting to see what happens. All right, that's all I have to cover for today on my agenda. Does anybody have any items or suggestions or questions they'd like to cover?
Maybe just small details regarding the latest release. What also changed, if you haven't recognized it, for altcoin trading, so crypto trading, we decreased the security deposit again because there's hardly any chargeback risk, and it was just increased because of the recent scamming issue, and now it's decreased back to the old values again. So if you're just wondering that the limits changed. And besides that, I think also, which is now great, we fixed the account age display in the peer avatar. So I think it was your own account age on certain screens. So now it shows the right account age for everyone. And yeah, also the block propagation should be improved. I saw some comments that it's still not working perfectly. So if you have any issues that the synchronizing takes very long, try to just close the client, start it again. Then normally it should connect to seed nodes and update and synchronize quite quickly. So it should be a matter of a couple of seconds, it shouldn't take a couple of minutes normally.
Cool. Yeah, that was a common thing people had talked about. There's one guy on the forum who was talking about he wasn't able to connect. It was failing at the Tor, the startup, one of the first 2 or 3 startup steps. And I don't know, usually for me that's an issue with the connection speed. Do you know of any other possible causes for an issue like that? Or
no, not really. So I sometimes also have the issue. Actually, if everyone updates to the newest version, it should be getting better and better. But I see sometimes that my client tries to connect to a seed node, it didn't respond, so it quits connection and tries to get the blocks from peers, which takes longer, and and it doesn't connect to the next seed node properly. So I'm not sure. I have to do more investigation on that. But normally, if it takes longer, just restart the client. It will probably connect to other seed nodes, which should be up to date, and then it should go quite quickly, the synchronization.
Okay.
But that's to be expected to improve over time. The more and more people have the client running, have the current DAO state. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it should get better than worse.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think we had one person trying to join the Hangout. Let's see if he's successful. Wait a couple more seconds. Yeah, just feel free to send your questions or comments on the YouTube chat. Otherwise, we can call it a wrap.
Yeah, nothing more on my agenda so far. Let me check. Yeah, so just to mention again, as we now removed all the restrictions again for SEPA trading and in the affected countries in Germany and Netherlands. So if you have an account that is older than 1st of March, you can continue to trade as usual, and it should be safe now again. Yeah, so that's a good thing. It's not so great for new users now or for buyers, but for everyone who uses Bisq already, they should be able to trade as usual as it was before and safely.
Yeah, and we're hoping to, hopefully within a few weeks, we'll have some more sophisticated mechanisms to once again allow new people in to trade as they normally would. So it's just a temporary thing. Cool. All right. Well, I guess that's it for now. Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you back here again next week.
Yeah.
Take
Bye.
care.
Ciao.